And welcome back to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast. I'm your host, Raider Will. I'm here with my boy, Matty V from TBH Western Colorado.
What's up, fam?
I got my girl, Val from TBH Dallas. What's up, girl? Hey, I got my boy, All In from TBH Dallas.
What up, what up?
Hey, y'all. And hey, on this episode, we're going to go all in on the top 3 free agents that you guys want to bring in this free agency market, all right? There's obviously a lot of big names out there. We have a lot of salary cap money. But, hey, tell me 3 guys you would love to see in the silver and black and give me some reasons why. And Val has a little story for us, at the very end of this one to let us know how uneducated some football fans really are. All right. So, hey, all in. We got a lot of salary cap money, baby. Tell me the 3 dudes that you say, hey, baby, I can't wait till we see them in that silver and that black, baby. Hit me with it.
Man, I'm going to say the first one, back to our earlier conversation. I'm going DB, man. I want to see Snead. He's got that swag that fits with what we're doing. Stealing a guy from a division rival, big time in my opinion. You got Chris Jones too, but Chris Jones or Wilkins, man, I want to go defense heavy on free agency as far as top dollar goes. And my other one obviously is let's get Josh back in silver and black.
So we're going heavy defense, and you want to bring JJ back, right?
Yep.
So who is the guy that you say, hey, is your A1 number 1?
Man, we got to either go. I'm probably going Snead, man. I'm probably going a veteran DB. We haven't had a big time vet DB in a long time. We've missed in the draft. Snead balled out this year in KC, man. I'm going Snead or Howard or Alexander, whichever guy I could get is where I'm headed.
Okay, so we go Snead, Howard, Alexander. I got you. Hey, I'm gonna come back to you on that because I like what we're going on that. But Matty B, the top 3 dudes that you're bringing, baby.
So, looking at this, man, I think I brought this up earlier too. I agree with Allen on the whole bringing in a defensive back. If we don't do it, but
same 3 names, or you got some, or another guy in mind?
No, I mean, so it's kind of I don't know, you guys might not agree with me on this one, but defensive line is where I'm I want to go defensive back if we don't go defensive line. Okay. But if we go defensive line, Christian Wilkins, I already mentioned.
Okay.
The other name, and you guys, like I said, you guys might not like it, is Leonard Williams. And the only reason why I say this is because the guy wants to be a Raider. He's been wanting to be a Raider since he got drafted. He grew up a Raider fan. And I think he might fit that mentality that Antonio Pierce is bringing to this team. I think if he gets to around, I know he's got some on-field antics that he does, and he's got his problems. But I think Antonio Pierce could actually mentor this guy to actually be a solid player on our team.
Okay. And you got one more?
And then, I actually threw down another name here, and I did this just because I kind of did my top 3 out of offense, defense, and whatever. So my offense, I already said Tyron Smith is the one I would go after on offense. But the other guy I have Garner Minshew. And the reason I have that is because I think we need to address a quarterback in free agency, and I think he's the one that fits the best mold in our offense if we were to go after one.
Okay, you know what? I like that too. I'll come back to that. Val, give me one guy that you think the Raiders should take a look at.
Oh my God,
You went blank.
Well, let me get I did, but you know what? I wouldn't be hurt if we didn't keep JJ. Just saying.
And then a lot of people are saying that. I think it's a key thing that we
Mitchell,
retain our stars. What's that? What's that, Val?
you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I said Minshaw. That's
Minshew.
Okay. Minshew.
Minshew, whatever. Admit.
All right. Hey, so we're gonna come back to the Minshew thing
Go
because I
ahead.
think that's actually something that a lot of people are missing right now. Is that we need to bring in a vet, a guy that's going to be there that can show these guys the ropes. Because, of course, we all know that we're probably going to draft a quarterback. And I'll be like, you need a leader in that room. And I like that. But I want to go to all in. All right. All in. And
Yo.
we talked about it, right? Corner.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have your top corner right now, you threw out 3 names and 3 dudes that are absolute beast. Janarius Snead. Okay. He's more of a man-to-man guy, right? More of a guy that just follows you, hustle hard, like work hard type of guy.
He's going to get in your number one head.
Yep. Then you got Howard coming from the Dolphins,
Yep.
right? He is a shutdown, number one guy. Okay. Now he's a little bit older, more seasoned. And who was the third guy you brought up?
You got Alexander in Green Bay.
Okay, now he's kind of the young guy, but like his attitude, I think, is my biggest question with him because of the way, and he has swagger to him, right? He has a
For
lot of
sure.
swagger, and I think at corner you have to have that swagger, but I think that big personality is a double-edged sword. All right, so I'm gonna ask you guys.
Just
Out of
like
those three-
Jalen Ramsey, he had similar situation, right?
no, absolutely. So out of those 3 guys, okay, who is the guy that you're going after the hardest? Who is the girl at the prom that you're like, hey, baby, don't matter what happens, I'm running through?
I'd have to agree with Olin if that was a guy. I mean,
Who's the guy? But who's the corner? Which corner is the guy that you make a play for?
it'd be
Snead.
Snead.
He's the best guy on the market right now, and if we can land him, that's the biggest fucking free agent I think in the market. So
Okay.
minus Jones, minus Jones.
Go ahead, Olin.
I think out of those 3, man, I think they're all pretty equal. Howard's probably third on my list only because he's already gotten 1 contract, right? So he is a little bit older. But man, I'm all about stealing your division rival guy, right? Like, hey, if we can make them a little weaker by going and getting Snead, I'd do it.
And
we address the need and we make them weaker.
You know what? And that's something that you guys have said the whole time that, you know what? You want to strengthen our team and take a division rivals player. And of course, we know that the Chiefs can only give out 1 major contract. It's either going to be Chris Jones or it's going to be Janarius Snead. Now, with you helping your own team out and you taking another player from another team, that's big. That's big. Now, what type of contract do you think he's going to command, though? Like, what's your offer? How many years?
So I don't know what corner contracts look like or are going right now. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I'd give him a 3-year deal, right? Because we don't know what AP's contract was, right? So, if AP is going out and getting these guys, let's not tie ourselves up. Let's give them a 3-year deal, 3 to 4 max, in my opinion. And real quick, the other free agent that I wouldn't mind snagging from Kansas City is that linebacker, Tranquil. That dude's a serious playmaker and run stopper.
Dude.
I think he'd complement Spillane nice.
Yep. And I mean, a lot of people are like really not thinking about upgrading that spot when honestly, Spillane filled it well. but we need depth at that spot.
We
We
need
really
depth and
only run 2 linebackers. One.
yeah, right.
So looking at these salaries, I think it's somewhere the top salary for a cornerback is about $20,000 a year, $21,000 a year. That's
Or 21 million.
or $21 million.
Yeah.
That's Jaire Alexander from the Packers. So he's the one that's got.
And that's where
He's a free agent.
Yeah, and he's a free agent. So I mean, if you're looking at the Janarius Snead, he's probably
They're probably going to come in at
26 million. I'm gonna say.
I was just saying the 25 mil probably.
Yeah, probably around 25 mil, and I don't know if that's gone up because everything's gone up. So
no, I mean like
that may be base salary. He may want 27 million. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, at that point, man, you got to go find some dogs and let that dude walk.
Yep, exactly.
I don't know that I'm giving a corner more than, man, really 20, 21, I think is the threshold. I don't know that you're comfortable giving a corner 25 to 27.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Are you guys at 21? So you guys are both at 21 mil, and that's kind of like where you're.
I'll push it a little bit, and I'd go around 22 million. Okay. Give him that extra million just to make him the highest paid.
Yeah.
If that was, if I was to get him and say, what's Alexander stays and signs his contract, whatever, or signs the tag or whatever.
No, and you know what? That's kind of interesting, man, because $21 million at corner, that's buku bucks there, right? But I'd be like, now if you're looking at Jaire Alexander, he got 21 million this year. So he's going to be demanding north of 22.
That was a tag, right?
Yeah.
He got tagged last year?
He got tagged.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, if he comes over, he's already going to be like, I made 21 million last year.
Right.
Like, he's going to ask for an exorbitant contract. And I just don't see him as one of those guys.
I don't know, man. Giving a DB that big money like that for multiple years, that's a big gamble. I mean, giving any player that kind of money is a big gamble, right? But now we're talking corners who typically got a short shelf life.
No, absolutely, and that's where I'm like looking at it, and that's why I like the kid out of Chicago. Because he's younger,
but he's probably gonna want some money too.
Well, yeah, he's on his second contract. But at 26 years old, you got a lot more life left in you.
Right. Well, I think Snead is in the same boat, right? So you got Johnson and Snead as the young guys. Alexander obviously finished his rookie deal, got tagged, played under the tag, so he's got to be in what year? Going into either year 5 or 6. I don't know where he was drafted.
I think so. I think 5 or 6. So then,
and I'm not as worried about egos. Like we talked about earlier with Williams, who I think would be a great addition. I think he's going to command some big money too.
Well, how much? But I mean, Williams is not. I don't think he's going to command as much as some of these names we're throwing around right now. I think Williams is going to command a lot less at D tackle than Wilkins. I mean, like we're looking at probably like 15 mil, bro. I think 15.
You think less than Wilkins?
Yeah. I think so.
So he's coming off his first big contract, right?
Wilkins?
He got paid by the Giants.
I'm trying to find these guys as you're talking about them.
I think he got paid by the Giants before he got traded. Because when when it was a big deal, like he was a free agent, they tagged him. And I believe they worked out a contract with him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, Williams is north of 30 years old almost.
Who are you talking about?
Leonard Williams?
Oh, Leonard Williams?
Is he?
How old is Leonard Williams?
Leonard Williams is he might be like 30, 31. He's not very old. He's
30, 31 is in the league.
In the D tackle world, he's up there.
Yeah.
So he's up there with Chris Jones.
He is 29 years old. He's not 30 yet.
So he's getting to that age where you're like, hey.
But I mean, if you can get like I said, if you can get this guy around the right people, I think this dude could thrive. And with the way that
he's thrived before, right? So
what's that?
He's thrived before, so it's there.
Yeah, and he's got the potential to do it. But what I'm saying is he's got that on the field antics, that can fucking cost penalties, fucking, he's kind of got that.
Yeah, so does Snead if you look at the AFC title game. And that's where I think AP can. I mean, I don't know. We'll.
Yeah, I think AP and the guys that he's getting around the whole coaching staff that he's building in that facility right now, like I think he can really get to players. And I like looking at it, like you got players that are wanting to come and play for us. They're like, man, trade me. I'll take a trade.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Aiyuk.
I'll be curious to see what that looks like. Right?
Yeah.
You hear that, right? We've heard that. If AP gets the job, players are coming, right? They got some dogs on the way. Well, who are these dogs? We got 2 more weeks to find out.
Because we're not going to get Aiyuk off of free agency because he's under contract, so we'd have to trade for him. So what are you willing to give up if you were to bring that dude over? He's gonna
personally,
want.
I'm not. I'm not.
You ain't even looking at that trade. So what if
it's gonna cost you a minimum of a first?
So, dude, I seen this I think it was either this morning or yesterday, but there was a trade for Brandon Aiyuk, and it was a second round pick and Jacoby Myers. Would you make that?
No.
Would you make that?
No.
No, and here's why. Here's why. So now, not only did you just trade for Aiyuk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to pay him fucking top receiver money. We already have a number one.
But now we got to pay Jacoby Myers next year.
Jacoby Myers ain't on Ayuk's level or Devontae's level. He's a wide receiver too.
You don't think he will if he has a breakout season?
Hell no.
Think he makes a bad? You don't think he makes a move for a contract?
He's just like
he ain't gonna have a better year than Devontae.
Because it's just like he's not gonna get fed the ball enough, and I think Aiyuk is at the point where he just wants to get paid. That's why they keep saying that he's unhappy in San Francisco. So if you bring him over and he wants number one money, but he's not getting number one stats.
Right, and all this speculated from a tweet, right?
Yeah.
It said, and the tweet was, "Don't forget what got you here." Right? Look at his stats in the Super Bowl. He had 1 or 2 grabs. That's what that tweet was directed at, right?
Yeah, that's what he was pissed off about because he wasn't.
His brother or somebody else said that he wants out. That's all fucking noise.
Right, and I'm not saying
they're in the same. They're in the same. They're in the same situation they were with Debo, man.
Right.
But here's the thing, man. They got to make a decision over there because next season they have to pay Purdy.
Yeah. Yeah. They're going to pay a lot of people.
They got to pay Aiyuk. This is last year.
We're not, man, I just don't see. First of all, whoever fabricated that second round pick in Myers is probably delusional because I think it's going to take a first to get Aiyuk away from San Francisco, right? What's their incentive to trade him? They're not. Right. They're going to run it back, right? And then he's a free agent next year.
Yeah.
So, I don't see that happening, man. We got too much money tied up in Devontae. I don't see us making a big trade like that. We got receivers.
I mean, if we made that move, that means we're moving on from Devontae, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you make that type of move because he's going to command that type of money and want that type of attention, then you're basically saying, hey, the Devontae era is over.
And let's be real, I don't think he's the number one like Devontae yet.
Would you trade Devontae for him? No. Looking at the stats that he has, because you look at his stats, he puts up just about the same numbers as Devontae, and he's younger.
But okay. Now plug him into our offense. Does he do the same thing?
Right.
And that's where we have to look at that as well. So, all right.
And I'm just asking. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
No, you're good.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't, man.
Bring up because a lot of people are talking about it.
And
go ahead.
I think that's the casual fan, man. I think that's just people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like,
right.
Why would you do that? We don't even have. We don't even know who the quarterback's going to be at this point, right? Are we going to miss out on everybody and have to ride with AOC? Do they fucking sell the farm and go get somebody? We don't know. We fucking don't know what they're thinking because Telesco's not the type of guy that's typically traded up, right, for players. But then you got AP who's on fucking podcasts talking about never say never.
That's where it's getting all sorts of crazy.
And then you got Mark. What does Mark want, right? So we moved on from Derek Carr, right? whether you agree with it or you don't, we moved on from Derek Carr without. The problem is we moved on from Derek Carr without a plan. The plan was a 45-year-old fucking Tom Brady was the
Yeah.
plan, and that fucking backfired. So now we either got to figure it out and move up and spend the money and draft the franchise guy that they believe is the franchise guy, or we're going to be on a quarterback carousel for the next however many years, like we were pre-Derek Carr, from Gannon to Carr.
No, you're absolutely right, bro. All right, man. Hey guys, we're gonna move on to the next segment. Val, fill us in on why we don't need to get our football information from the Manny Petty guy.
Oh man. So let me just say,
First of all, it's a dude, so gives you
Okay.
Manny Petties. That says it all.
It's a dude?
What the fuck?
It's a dude giving Manny Petties. That says everything you need to know.
He wasn't working. He was working the reception, like taking payments, right? And
The reception guy at the nail salon. Gotcha.
You're not even good enough to give a fucking Manny Petty.
No, man, you can't even touch my feet. Take my cash show, motherfucker.
first, so they were like rubbing like aloe vera and orange slices on me, and then they like put these bags over my hands and my feet. So I like these towels. So I feel like they're marinating me, right? Like they're about to cook me. And this guy's like, what did he say? He's like, Raiders, because he's seen my bag. And I was like, yeah. And I'm just sitting there like awkward, like I can't move. And he goes, like, the Las Vegas Raiders? And I'm like, yeah, like the
Could have
Las.
said no, the fucking Dallas Raiders.
He's like, I thought they were in California. And I'm like, well, they used to be. He's like, Oakland, right? I was like, yes. And he goes, oh, that's right. But they're in Las Vegas now. I was like, uh-huh. And then he goes, yo. And I'm like, what? He's like, I get hunches about quarterbacks. I get this good feeling and I'm always right about it. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, yeah, he went about telling how we have the best quarterback ever. Jimmy Garoppolo is a beast. He's like, he's a beast, man. He can throw. And y'all got lucky getting him. I'm like,
He's high as fuck.
Offended, right? He was like, what? I was like, he was using something he didn't have a prescription for. He goes, well, what was it? And I said, I really can't say here. And he goes, I'm going to have to look into it, right? And then I was like, yeah. He goes, but don't y'all have Carr? I was like, no, we don't have Carr. Oh, he goes, oh, Carr went to the Saints? He was like, yeah. And then he goes, but, I've been watching Patrick Mahomes since he went to Tech. And I said, okay, did you follow Michael Crabtree too? He goes, no, that was before my time. I was like, before your time? What? And then he goes, yeah, I knew.
He's 12.
He's like, I knew he was going to be good. And I was like, okay. And then he goes, well, who do you think we should draft? I said, you tell me, who do you think we should draft? I said, well, what about Williams? He goes, no, that guy's trash. I said, trash? And I was like, how is he trash? He was like, he can't throw. He's trash, bro. I'm telling you. You guys need to get something cool. I'm like, get somebody cool. And then I started naming names. And then I'm like, what about Daniels? Jane Daniels. He's like, I don't know who that guy is. I'm like, okay, what about Justin Fields? Yeah, I don't know much about him either. Where's he go? I'm like, I thought you knew your quarterbacks. He goes, I do. And I said, oh, okay. And then he was just like, I said, what about Kirk Cousins? He goes, nah, man, he's trash. He's trash. And I'm like, that's all you have. He's trash. And they're like, bro, that's what he told me. He said, bro, look at the stats. And I said, oh, okay. He goes, y'all don't even have a coach. I said, actually, we do have a coach. And then he was like, oh, yeah, you guys got that one dude, huh? I'm like, Antonio up here? And he goes, yeah. And I said, he's already built the culture. He goes, yeah. He goes, but y'all not popping like the Cowboys. And I said, oh, so you're a Cowboys fan. What do you know about the Cowboys? And he goes, what did he say? He goes, man, I just know we're going to the Super Bowl next time. I'm like, oh.
Cowboy fans.
You guys are always one and done. And I said, what do you think of Dak? He goes, he's all right. I think he's good. I'm like, okay, what
You just
else? And
named
he's
off
like,
10 dudes that are worse than Dak, and you said they were all trash.
dude, oh, okay. And I'm like, I was like, so why aren't you a Cowboys fan? He goes, oh, I'm held hostage. He goes, by default, I'm not allowed to be any other fan. I grew up in Dallas and my family, they're all Cowboy fans. And they told us we're not allowed to like other teams. And I was like, that's your first mistake. Sometimes it's good to be a rebel. And he was just, I said, but not the Raiders. I'm just saying any other team. And he was just like, oh, maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll be able to do that one day. But yeah, you guys need to keep Jimmy. He's good when he's good. I'm like, dude. I was like, I told him I was like, he already got in trouble at the bunny house. He goes, no, for real. I was like, yeah, go search it up, dude. This kid.
Hey,
I don't even know why I thought to entertain this because I was like, I'm curious what he has to say. But I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to tell the guys. They're going to be like, what the fuck?
Yo, kids, this is why you don't do drugs. So you don't work at the nail salon and give bad football advice.
I think all those fucking nail fumes are getting to
So
his.
that sums up the casual fan, right? Like they're just
The casual Cowboys fan. Put the
no
Cowboys
man.
in
This is
there.
But
casual.
all
No, this is the
quarterback.
casual. Yeah,
But
he's a quarterback guru. He's John Gruden Jr. Fucking that's what happens, right? We fucking entertain clowns, and social media has made it worse. So eventually, you get enough, and you got a fucking circus, and that's what you have on social media. Is you got a fucking circus of casual fans, and they're just fucking retarded.
Yep, no lies.
I'll
All
probably
right.
get canceled now that I said retarded, but it's fucking annoying as hell,
All
man.
right, you can say it on this channel.
Very good. All right, guys. Hey, make sure you guys click like, click subscribe, share, give us a follow. Let us know that you're out there. Give us your opinions. Hey, we'll see you guys next episode. And